Hello, hello, hello. This is Nikki in Niagara coming to you live. Not live. I'm live, but this probably isn't coming to you from Niagara Falls, Canada. I screwed myself up by saying hello, hello, hello at the beginning. Because, you know, when you have an intro and an outro, you like have them in your head and you go into the zone and you say it. So there was something a little different for you from me. All right. So, this is the Monday before Christmas, and I probably seem like I'm in a better mood than I'm in, but that's good, isn't it? So, I wanted to show you my last finished page, my whip, and what's the other thing that I show you? Oh, what's coming up. Not gonna do that today. So, this is my last finished page. I just absolutely love these pictures so much that I'm just wondering how many more pages there are in the book, because there's quite a few in here. How many are there? One, oh, I guess there's not. 2, 3. Oh, there's not 3. Oh, there's not 4, 5, 6. There's 7. So I might have a look at getting the book next year because this is just absolutely adorable. I want to finish up her pictures. I'll probably do one more this Christmas and then save the rest for Christmas in July because I just love these pictures. They're adorable. And I've never really looked at her work before. And they're fun to color. So yeah, that was my last finished page. And this is my current whip. Oh, I guess just in case, for some reason, you have been living under the Coloring Rock, this is the book that it comes out of. Coloring Heaven Christmas issue. Cutesy. So, this is my current whip, and this book is Escape to Christmas Past from Good Wives and Warriors. And this is the picture that I'm doing, and I am following a tutorial by Coloring with Elena. I am one of her, well, not a Patreon, though sort of, because she has memberships through YouTube, and that's YouTube's version of Patreon, and she has both Patreon and the memberships so that you can decide what you like, which I'm glad she does, because since I belong to the membership, it's like so easy to look at what she's got for us. I can't imagine actually adding another site that I have to visit regularly onto my rotation. But yeah, so she picked this picture, and on her membership, which is dirt cheap, it's $2.99 a month. She gives you at least 2 narrated color-alongs. You know how her color-alongs on her main channel, she speeds up to music. She might talk at the beginning, and then the whole thing is sped up to music. But usually the whole thing is just sped up to music. Well, she slows down and she narrates through the coloring of her if you belong to her membership. Now, she does have a second here. I'm doing a little plug for her. This is not a paid promotion. She has a second tier, but it's much more expensive. It's for the serious devotees of hers. It's $14.99, I believe, so big jump between levels. But you get 5 narrated. You get the ones that the $2.99 level gets, plus you get extras to make up a 5, at least 5, I think. Something like that, video, narrated color-alongs. So anyways, I've belonged to her for a few months now, maybe 3 or 4, and this is actually the first thing that I have sat down and done while she's been uploading it, because I haven't had any of the books that she's done. Well, that's not true. I had one of them, but they're just kind of like filed away in my memory to do sometime. But I wanted to jump into this because it was one of the books that I hadn't colored in yet this Christmas. So, surprisingly, I'm finding that I'm just watching her and then stopping it and then doing my own thing, kind of remembering what she said, but doing my own type of coloring, which I'm pleasantly surprised with, because I thought I would be following her to a T and like looking up at the screen and going, which part did she color? And, you know, but she does, like for big sections, like the blue background here, she starts you off and she talks about it, she tells you what she's doing, and you get to see her do a fair bit, but then she jumps ahead and shows it to you finished, because, you know, nobody wants to sit and watch somebody color a huge background like this, because, I mean, she's not doing color and chat, she's just doing tutorials. So anyways, to make a short story long, this is my whip, and I'm really enjoying it. I will be adding in the blue next to do the snowflakey type stuff. And now we are on to what we are doing. Let me move this and get my gel pens closer to me, because I didn't pre-pick them, because you know what, we have to do two, because I did not do one yesterday. I was so good and did Saturdays, but I did not do Sundays. So I think, what is the date today? I'm just going to look. Today is the 12th. Okay, yes. So we're doing yesterday's and today's. So that means we are doing the plum pudding and the, looks like a robin to me. We don't see any robins in winter here. Although I have to tell you that we can see all sorts of birds because of the way the weather's not as cold here as in other parts of Canada. So let's see, we'll start with the plum pudding. So that means we're going to need brown. Whatever color that is we'll do. Wait a minute, if it's too bronzy it can be the pudding. Yeah, it's kind of like a browny green. Sorry. No, that is black. I don't want black. Do you like plum pudding? To me it seems to be a very British type thing. My dad used to always used to buy a plum pudding from Marks and Sparks, but of course we don't have those in Canada anymore. I don't even know if they have them in England anymore. Nobody talks about it. They always talk about Aldi, is it? And is that their version? Oh, there we go. That's brown. Okay. Okay, so let's get a green and red and yellow. There's red. There's green. And there's yellow. Alright. Let's go. So is not Aldi Britain's version of Walmart? It's funny how American chains change their name when they go into different countries. Is that because there's already a company called that? Or do they want to hide their association with the American firm? Because, I mean, I know some countries are not too friendly to having American businesses take over. I mean, even if you're American, you've got to understand that. I don't think Americans would be too happy if, like, Chinese stores took over. So, yeah. So, anyways, like one here in Canada that I didn't know of is that there's TJ Maxx in the States, and it's called TK Maxx in Australia. Well, here in Canada, the exact same store is called Winners. So why did we go with such a completely different name? I have no idea. There is no anybody Maxx store here, so we wouldn't have confused it with anybody. Oh, so anyways, I'm sitting here at, I don't know what time it is, 10:35, and I haven't even washed up yet. I'm still on my second cup of coffee. I slept in today like mega. That's because I didn't go to bed until 3 last night. And then my Mr. Niagara got up really early this morning at 7 o'clock to go do the groceries to last us over Christmas, because he does groceries at, you know, I'm not gonna like that. Let's get silver for the plate. And what color can the pudding be? I mean, I would imagine, or the sauce, I would imagine that it's custard, but I don't know how yellow will look. So this one's more of a yellow gold. Maybe we'll use that for the pudding. So yeah, I did brush my teeth though, so don't have to worry about me breathing on you. My attempt at a joke. Oh dear. Yeah, my husband doesn't think I have a sense of humor, but I do. My humor is very dry and witty, or at least I like to think it's witty, but it's definitely dry. I'm British by birth and raised by British parents, so I've adopted the British kind of humor, and by all rights, Canadian humor is very dry too. I don't know what color to do this pudding. I keep calling it a pudding. It's the whole thing that's a pudding. It's the sauce. The custard. Oh, that's bright orangey yellow. We can't do that. That's just yellow. Well, why don't we make it purple since it's a plum pudding? So I've never had plum pudding in my life, but I believe there's fruit or raisins in it. So that would mean I don't like it because I don't like raisins. I like a lot of things that raisins are in. I just like it without the raisins. Oh yeah, back to my sense of humor. So yeah, I have that kind of a humor, while my husband has more of a punny humor and slapstick type humor. And oh, sometimes he can make me laugh, but I mean, of course. But yeah, we have totally different senses of humor. And on top of that, I know I've mentioned briefly before that I have Asperger's, and I don't get a lot of jokes. I take them literally. So I suck all the fun out of his jokes because he ends up spending more time explaining to me why it's funny than he did telling the joke. And then when he's all done, I'll go, yeah, that was funny. Or he'll go, still don't think it's funny. So yeah, a lot of things that you're not supposed to take literally go over my head and under my feet. So today is, you know what? I said today was Monday and it's not. Today is Tuesday. That's why I'm behind. Oh, see, I can't remember what happened yesterday. But only yesterday I was telling my son a story from my teenage years, and I remembered it clear as day. Guess that's the sign that you're getting old, eh? When the past is clearer than the present. But I consider yesterday in the past. What was I saying? Something about the present and the past. Yes, okay, so I didn't color yesterday, which was Monday, because we were out most of the day. And I was just zonked when I came home. That looks nice, even though that's not the colors of a plum pudding, but Now, see, this works best for the stars. Yes. Can you imagine if I had done the sauce that color? I just don't have a gel pen, a good array of yellows. They're either these dark yellows, they either look yellow and you color with them, they're gold, or they're this bright neon yellow. Yeah, I want to do these first, because I want to do all the little dots and everything. So yesterday I had to go visit my psychiatrist, and I go every 2 months, unless something's going on, then it'll be just a month between. But yeah, normally I go every 2 months, and if things are good, which they were this time, then he basically just asks how I am. I'm fine. He asks about the family, because the whole family is patients of his. We must sound like one messed up family. We share a family psychiatrist. Geez, we should have given him a Christmas card. He knows us better than anybody else. And I wrote my prescription, but I had to wait almost an hour in his office beforehand. Fortunately, she's only allowing 5 people into the office at a time. Unfortunately, when I went in, I was number 5. Otherwise, I would have had to stand out in the hall, or else gone through the fuss and palaver of going to the car and getting Mr. Niagara's cell phone number, and going back. Well, it wouldn't be me going back and giving them the number and waiting in the car. But so yeah, I was number 5, so I got to sit in the waiting room, and they always have the local. Well, not the local. See, I live in a small city, and then but it's really kind of like a town, and then there's a city next to us, which is, your medium-sized city, and then we have a big city, and that's Hamilton. And so they always have their TV station on, and it's basically a 60s, 70s, and a little bit of 80s TV programming now. And they always have that on, which I am thankful for, because there used to be a receptionist, like about 2 receptionists ago. We've been going there a long time, and she always had The View on. And I would go up there and I would make her turn it over, because it made me so anxious. I cannot stand to listen to people argue, and I do not, 100% do not have the same viewpoint on things as those women. That's just enough of that. But I went up to her and I said, and I mean, like, how ridiculous is that? That is not appropriate for a psychiatrist's office to have people, like, talking about the news. Most of us are told to stay away from the news, and to be arguing, because that's all they do, is they argue, and then they get nasty, too. So, that's just my opinion. So, I went up there and I told her, I said, can you turn this over, please? This is making me very anxious, and I don't think this is very appropriate viewing for a psychiatrist's office. So she would turn it over, but next time I came, it would be back on again. So finally, one day we had a new receptionist, and that was on. And I said to her, could you possibly turn this station over and let us watch something a little more calming and lighthearted? And she said, sure, of course I can. And I said, okay, thank you very much. The receptionist before you wouldn't do that. And she goes, oh, no reason why. of course I will. So now we've had this channel ever since, and I like to think that I'm the one who brought about that change by speaking out, which is a hard thing for me to do. You know what? I'm going to make this a robin, but there's no line for his tummy, and I don't think this part is supposed to be red. So I've got my browns. No, I just have one brown. Oh, you know what? I often do bird's blue, so let's see if I can find the blue. That looks more turquoise. Ooh, this one's a dark blue. Watch it be purple. Yeah, that's very blue. Excuse me, I just burped in case you heard that. So we'll do that and the brown. Yeah, okay, that's just what we'll have to do. Or that, no, let me get one of those lighter blues. There. So we did that, and then, oh, I just want to tell you about this. I don't know if you can see it or not, but this was 19th. That was Saturday's, and I fell asleep coloring it, and there were lines and scribbles of the green going all over there, and it just made me so sad that my whole page was going to be wrecked. Then finally I thought of going over it with Posca, and I had to do it very lightly dabbing, or else it just mixed with the gel pen. But so I did that with one layer, and then I went over it again, and you can see where the Posca is, and for me looking up at it, I can see little flecks of green here and there, but it looks a heck of a lot better than it did before. So I'm not sure if that shows up on screen for you guys or not. But nothing is ever ruined. It's just whether you give up on it or not. I've only ever had one thing totally ruin in my life, and that was that page in World of Flowers, which if you've been with me for a while, you know the drama that ensued over that. Oh dear. But I fixed it in the end, just in case you don't know or you don't remember. I did fix it, because I was ready to buy a second copy. So anyways, let me get what we did yesterday done, so that I know I've told you. So then after that, Mr. Niagara, it was like 1:30 or something like that now. So Mr. Niagara asks if we want to go get a hamburger. So we went to Wendy's and got hamburger and fries, because he had some coupons so that you would I don't know what it was for. I didn't look at it, but anyways, it meant that one coupon went to our son, and he bought himself using the coupon, and the other coupon went to us. I think it was buy one get one free for us, and then it was get so much % off for the son. I should call him the child. Don't think he'd appreciate that. And I have not watched The Mandalorian, though I am kind of starting to think that maybe I will binge watch it. It's just I haven't watched that kind of stuff in a long time. I watched the very first remake, or the very first new part to Star Wars. I guess it came out in the, what, 80s? Not the 80s, duh, that was the real Star Wars. I was there for that. I went to see, not Star Wars, but I went to see Back to the Future in the theaters. That's how old I am. And of course I saw Return of the Jedi at the theaters. It used to take years between movies back then. So then we went and had a hamburger, and we drove home. We drove home on the highway because I had to go to the bathroom so bad, and we couldn't find anywhere to go because they, I think I told you we were in red, and they're really taking this this seriously. And I guess this is red and green again for the flowers, though those are probably mistletoe, not holly. And they have like very whitish green berries. But anyways, anywho, excuse me, I'm still having my coffee, which is probably cold by now. You know what? Someone wanted me to show them how to blend with gel pens. What have we got left to do on here? Okay, I'm going to get a light green out, and we will... Not much left in this one. Well, I don't want to chance that one not working. Here we go. Alright, so if I'm not in close enough, I'm going to come in closer so you can see how I do this. So take the lids off of your gel pens that you're going to blend with. And you can, basically you're going to blend the exact same way you would with pencils. Except we're using our gel pens, and we have to be quick because we don't want the gel pen to, you don't want the gel pen to dry. So I'm going to do the base of this leaf dark and then go into light as I come out, and I'll do all these. Oh, look a little silly on this. Well, here, let me color this one in and then the two on the other side. Can be. Okay, and so I need to turn my paper so it's comfortable for me to do the shading. So, alright, so we're going to go dark and then it's going to come light, and I hope you guys will see. So I have this close and ready. So I'm going to do the bottom part like that, and then come right in it and start back in the dark green and come on up. It's as easy as that. And you can do it with 3 colors too, but you have to be even faster. So you can do whatever you want in the dark. Go fast. Step back into the dark green and bring your color out. There you go. Yep, beautifully blended. And now I'll blend the leaves on this as we go along. So how did I do? What was it that I was going to say about being out yesterday? Oh, yeah. Now, see, that one I went too slow. So I'm probably not going to be as fast as I should be since I'm talking. But yeah, just go over that bit a couple more times to get it nice and juicy. And back in there so we can push the pigment around. And there we go. And my green is dying. What's that? So, being out, I really got to see the changes out there since we've gone red. The reason we couldn't find a washroom was because the restaurants are only allowed to be takeout or delivery, and so all the fast food places, they have all the chairs put away, and they have the washrooms blocked off. They had a couple of tables in front of the washroom doors at Wendy's, and so you're not allowed to go in because if you're doing takeout, you don't have bathrooms for takeouts and home delivery. And so then we thought, oh well, let's go to Walmart because they'll have a washroom. So we drove over to Walmart, and there was a lineup outside, and we haven't seen lineups since the first lockdown. And speaking of which, my city and the whole region is going into lockdown the day after Christmas for 28 days. And if it's anything like any other time when they mention days, it'll be longer than that. But yeah, we're going into total lockdown, so that means that only the essentials will be open. But I think it's pretty much that way already. But they are letting us get through our Christmas, which, I mean, excuse me, it's the coffee. Which is good in a way, because, I mean, it doesn't wreck everyone's Christmas, at least to a further extent. But, I mean, so if you're thinking about, you know, people's feelings, then yeah, it's nice that they're doing that. But on the other hand, you think about the sensibilities of it. People are just going to go out over Christmas, gather, and introduce a whole new bunch of cases. My town/city had 400 cases the other day. Oh, Shadow! Okay, we're going to have to finish up here because the cat is going to break down the door. Just a minute. Alright, if you knock anything over, you are in hot water. Okay, sorry about that, guys, but Shadow does not like to be locked out of rooms, but she's usually not allowed in here. But the problem is that my son's room, the door will be closed on there. Hey, Shadow! Out of there! Our cat likes to lick plastic bags. And I just don't feel comfortable letting her do that. Okay, well, let's use the red again and go around with our ribbon in that. Shadow! She's trouble. Oh, and you know what we saw yesterday? I so wish I'd had my tablet with me. I don't have a phone because, well, I don't go anywhere by myself, so I don't need one. So I wish I'd had a phone or just my tablet with me so I could have taken a picture, but we drove past one of the McDonald's in the city that we went to yesterday, and its M was gone. Can you believe that? I've never in my life seen a McDonald's without an M. So who knows what happened. Whether it fell down in the... Oh, excuse me. I am so sorry. Whether it fell down in the wind, because we had a bit of wind over the last few days, but I mean, not anything near what we can have, or if it was vandals. Maybe it was loose anyways. So, but I mean, geez, can you just imagine if it blew over and you had the giant M being pushed along down the street? Holy, that would have been scary. Yeah, so we're done, and I have to go get this cat, so calling it a close today. Let's put it straight. Calling today closed, and we only have 2 left. Can you believe it? So this is going to be Wednesday and Thursday, and then I won't film anything over. So yeah, we're just gonna have a short one this week because of this, and then we'll get back to normal filming, though I may just try and keep up this daily business, but we'll see. Too much talking for now, and I gotta go get this cat from getting inside of a plastic bag. Okay, bye-bye. Hello again, and today is Wednesday, and it is the day before Christmas Eve day. So, I may have a little bit of a in me because I haven't really spoken much today. It's 1:30, and I got up really early this morning, but I sat down and I had one cup of coffee, and I started to have my second cup of coffee, and I started this falling asleep business. So I decided, okay, you know what? I'm just going to go to bed. So instead of sitting here falling asleep. So I went back to bed, and I didn't get up till 11:30 when my husband was calling me on the phone. So yeah, I've only been up a couple of hours, and I've only exchanged a couple of words with my son. Sorry, just finishing up my Coke. There we go. And open up a new one. And hopefully we will get the voice going. I am drinking Coke Zero. That is the Coke I like. I don't like Pepsi Zero, but I like Coke Zero. So, we're going to do the last picture I colored, current whip, and coming up next. So, this is my finished picture. I worked in this book earlier this month, and I wanted to pick it up again. So we did this one last night. I just absolutely love this book. It's so simple and fun and cute. And some of the pictures in here I don't think are, see, like this, the only way this is Christmas related is the holly in her hair. See, this one's not Christmas related at all. Obviously this one is. Okay, there's a gift there, but I mean it could be a birthday gift. Obviously she's supposed to be the from the Nutcracker, but you could just color her as a ballerina. So I think I'll be working on some of the pictures in this book throughout the year. Okay, so next is my whips, and I will just do a quick show of this, but I worked on my poster, so just show you this little bit of it right there. My assignment was to do the princess. This is the Pinocchio Fabiana Attanasio poster. If you haven't been with me before, I will be showing the whole thing when I do my finished pages. So yeah, this is a work in progress. I finished my assignment, and I will be giving myself an assignment for January. My current whip, that's finished. My current whip is in here. I'm working on the rainbow page in Escape to Christmas Past, yeah. And I'm following a tutorial by Coloring with Elena that she does for her members only. And I'm having a lot of fun doing this. So it's 3 parts, and I finished part 1. I think that in the next part we're going to finish up all the background, and then the third part is probably devoted to the reindeer. So hopefully she doesn't do something too hard for me to do in the reindeer. But we'll see. And what is coming up is I have, if you saw my video on all my winter and Christmas pictures, I have worked, it was a lot of books, and it was mostly Christmas with just a handful of winter ones. So I have worked in every single Christmas book that I showed you except for 3. And those 3 are ones that I have to put some time and effort into, and I just don't feel like doing that at this point in time. I'm getting a little Christmased out with my coloring, and I think the Escape to Christmas Past is going to take a few more days or so. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out some of my Christmas color by numbers that are in my pile of finished and have a go in those so I can have some simple coloring to do over the holidays. So I've got this one out. I saved it out because I want it to work in it again. And then I'll also have some of my other Christmas color by numbers that I'll be working in next. Excuse me. Alright, so, oh, now my voice has gone weird. Okay, I just blew out my ears, and I sound a bit better, but I know I've got a, at the back of my throat. Let me take a drink. Okay. Oh no. Alright, well, I'm just going to have to talk the way I talk. So today we are on the 23rd. We've got some presents. Now I was thinking the presents don't have to be red and green. So I was just going to grab a handful of glitter gel pens, which I'm doing right now. You can hear me in there. So I'm just going to grab some random handful, and we'll see what comes in that handful. Oh, I can see 2 reds and 2 greens already. So much for that idea. Oh, there's 3 reds, and you know, I probably only have these 3 reds in there. Huh. Okay, well, it's a nice set of colors that I can use for presents anyways. So, let's go to it. I like pink here, pinky purple for the bows, or a bow. So, nothing has happened since yesterday. At least I don't feel like it has. And, I thought I had a whole bunch of things to say when I came on, and now that I'm on, I don't have anything to say. So yesterday, oh, I know. I'll tell you about what I'm reading and watching. So for reading, I just started Ruth Ware's, I think it's her latest book. It came out in 2020. Came out this year, and it's called One by One, or is it One to One? It's either One to One or One by One. For some reason I'm thinking it's 1 to 1 now. But, oh, my mailman just came out of my driveway. I have to go see if we got anything good. Probably not. So that's what I'm reading. I have not read enough of it to give an opinion. I'm just at the beginning. I think, like, it started with an introduction to people, and there's this hotel, and it talked about all the people who work there, and it's some kind of like exclusive hotel where when you go there, there's only, like, I don't think there's any outside communications allowed, and it's I don't know. I haven't got a full vision of it yet, but I do know the story is about these people who get trapped in the hotel. So I have a feeling it's going to be a bit of a go on Agatha Christie's And Then There Were None, which was the original, the very first book about people stuck in a hotel. Well, it wasn't a hotel. Was it? No, it was a big old mansion that people had been invited to, I'm pretty sure, like House on the Hill. Or it might have been a hotel. It's been a long time since I read it. So, yeah, so take on that one. And its nicest title is And Then There Were None. That book has an interesting history. In its original publication in Britain, it was called 10 Little N-Words. And then when the book was published in America, it decided to not use the derogatory word in the title, so they changed it to the much better 10 Little Indians. So let's insult a different racial, ethnic group. And it was called 10 Little Indians for quite a while. When I read it, my book was called 10 Little Indians, but it had been one that I'd gotten from a used bookstore. I guess I better color. And eventually its title got changed to And Then There Were None, which kind of follows the same thing, because I don't know if you guys know the old rhyme, 10 Little Indians. 9, 10 little, 9 little, 8 little Indians, 7 little, 6 little, 5 little Indians, 4 little, 3 little, 2 little Indians, 1 little Indian boy. That's it. That was the original rhyme. You got to listen to my creaky singing voice. Maybe I sounded better with the creaky voice. I don't know what's wrong with me. I just feel like going all the time, but maybe I could do one great big one that I'll delete out of here. That wasn't the big one. Okay, so pink and green and what color is that? Is that orange? Oh, it is too. It's a light orange. I kind of actually like leaving it like that. Maybe I'll just go around the edges with this orange. We'll just try that first and see what that looks like. So, I'm not reading the Agatha Christie book. I am reading Ruth Ware's 1-to-1, possibly called 1 by 1. So then, what I'm watching is I just binge watched on, oh my goodness, what was it called? The title of it has just completely left my mind. It is a Finnish show, and it was dubbed in English, which I am glad, because I don't watch TV shows that you have to read or movies that you have to read. I do not like subtitles because I don't look at the screen. I watch TV shows. I listen to TV shows. I don't watch them. I'm gonna edit out right here and see. Okay, guys, I'm back. My voice did not return to me, and I had a great big coughing, hacking fit, clearing my throat, trying to get rid of it, but it is there to stay, so I'm sorry. We'll just have to put up with it. I know I was like this yesterday, too, so. Alright, so I like that. I like that I just went around the edge with it in orange. Okay, so let's cut. Well, okay, we're going to have, well, I guess we'll have to have orange stars since I don't have yellow here. And let's make the bow on here red so we have a bit of Christmassy going on. Even though I said we didn't have to use these colors, we can. Border Town! There you go. That's the name of the show that I finished watching. It was called Border Town. It was excellent. It had a really eccentric character as the main, well, he was a profiler. There was a team. They were called the Serious Crimes Unit. and it was really intense because it's Scandinavian, eh? So they're really dark and intense. So I loved it. It was exactly the kind of mystery that I like to watch and read. So that's great. That's on. Yeah, it's a good show. So then, what I'm watching now is, and again I don't know the title. Is it open? Oh, yeah, okay. I've got Netflix open in one of my windows here. Let me check. It might start to play on us. Okay, no, it's still paused. Well, it's paused right on the play screen. Let me go back. I'll color while it does that. Oh, and you know what? My printer problem is fixed. Yay! Problem is, I have the oldest computer in the house. I don't know why I'm doing these stars first, because it's just going to make it awkward to color around them, especially these dots. It's called the Sinner. That's what it is. And I'm halfway, well, not half, yeah. Yeah, I'm about halfway through the first season. There's only 2 seasons. I like watching shows that have like that have like 4 seasons or less. Because, and that's British seasons that only have like up to 8 episodes. This actually is an American show, The Sinner, and it is, it has 8 episodes in each season. Okay, so let's do the box green on this one. And I was really silly. Ah! Okay.
Okay.
It's just...
Please face forward again. I need to see your hands. Put them out there.
Okay. Quit. Stop. Okay. I need to get off of that screen. If you leave it too long, well, I guess everybody knows. If you leave it too long on a thing, trailers pops up. So that's what we got there. Because, yeah, there's several Scandinavian TV shows I would love to watch, but they're in their original languages. There's also some Welsh shows that I'd like to watch that are still in their original Welsh language. And, I mean, I certainly can watch a subtitled show or movie. I've done it before in the past. But it just doesn't work with me now because I I can't watch TV without doing something. And I've been like that for a very long time. It's just, I can't have idle hands. My hands must always be doing something. And so now I color when I watch TV, and I just look up every now and then when it seems like I need to. And mostly I listen. So if I'm listening to a foreign language, I have no clue what's going on because I can't see the subtitles because I'm not looking at the TV. So that's kind of disappointing. So it's good that this show that I'm watching, or that I did watch, the Border Town, was dubbed. Took the first episode to get used to the dubbing because, you know, when that happens, I grew up when they used to dub Japanese movies, and of course the voices don't sound like they really come from the person, but, you know, you get used to it. So anyways, I was saying that my printer problems are over. And as I said, I have the oldest computer in the house. And so what has happened is now that we have this much faster internet speed, the printer won't connect to my computer over that speed. So we have two logons. We can log on with the fast speed, and then we have a slower one to log on with. I don't know what the purpose is, but if I'm using it now, is that whenever I want to print something, I just go down to my connection and I click on the lower connection to the internet, and then I can print. So it's a little bit of a hassle that I have to click an extra button, but I will take that over walking up and down the stairs and doing all that fuss that we did. Okay, so what colors should we do the next one? I've got, what colors haven't I used? I haven't used purple, and I haven't used blue. And I don't think that those would go together well. Blue, so then I've got all these reds. I've got orange, and I didn't use much there, so blue and orange go together well. Okay, yeah, that's what we'll do. I'll have an orange bow and a blue box. So, yeah, that's the end of my printer problems. And my son figured that out, so didn't have to, because I mean, I was at the point where I was like, call somebody in, get us a geek. Or a nerd. What was that? What was that company called? I don't know if they still exist. It's either Geeks. Yeah, I don't know. I can't remember. So the show that I'm watching now was really good. I don't know if it's going to have supernatural undertones to it or not. It seems to be going that way, but then it's possible that it's not. So far, the only kind of supernatural thing that happened was in a dream, which is okay. But there's these undertones that something else may be supernatural. It's about a cult and about a boy who kills the two people who had kidnapped him, and it's debatable as to whether he had been kidnapped as in taking him away from his home, or whether he was being rescued from the home, because the place where this boy lives and where the supernatural thing might be is a cult. So I always like reading things about cults. They're quite interesting. So that is what I'm reading and watching, and I managed to get it in. And we have finished our picture. Number 23 is done. So we just have tomorrow's, which is a stocking full of gifts, so that will take us a little longer to do. It's probably the most detailed picture on this page. So it's too bad I have all that white gel pen covering up the mistakes up there, but yeah, it looks better than the scribbles. Okay, so I need to go, so I will see you tomorrow. Until tomorrow. Hi guys, I am coming in here and it is not Friday. It is, or I should say it's not Thursday, which is the day I should have been coming on here. It is not Friday, but Saturday. It is Boxing Day. If your country is a member of the Commonwealth, you will celebrate Boxing Day. And if you're not, it's a holiday that we former members of the British Commonwealth celebrate, along with the current members. So I will tell you a bit about Boxing Day, what I know about it, after we get started here. So I'm going to be kind of quick because it's just a lazy hang around the house day. Mr. Niagara has had his 2 days off, which is a real treat for us because he usually doesn't get anything off at Christmas or New Year's, being a service worker. So he's back to work today and got a long day in, not coming home till 9 o'clock tonight, And it is 1:50 exactly right now. So I'm just going to color up this picture that I didn't get colored. I'm really Christmas colored out. But let's get started before I continue and talk away. I've already been 10 minutes and I haven't colored a thing. So I did the same thing as last time because it worked out for us. I just grabbed a random handful of my glitter gel pens, and here we go. I see some good colors in there already. We've got a red and a yellow, and we have one green. It's a bluish green, but there's no leaves in this picture, so it'll do. So let's get started and color all that stuff inside of the stocking first with our presents and our candy cane and that little wooden doll. So yes, it was very nice to have Mr. Niagara around the house this year at Christmas time, especially considering that it was a very not normal Christmas. Usually my son and his partner come down, sometimes just for Boxing Day and sometimes for, well, no, I shouldn't say that, because we celebrate Christmas on Christmas Eve, so he's always here for Christmas Eve, and then they stay for part of Boxing Day. And sometimes it's not written in stone when we're gonna well, you know what, I want to do a red ribbon. It's not written in stone what day we have dinner. We have it either on Christmas Eve, or we have it on Christmas Day. So it really depends on what when my son's coming. So obviously this year they didn't come down because both he and us have been adhering to social distancing extremely well. Of course, seeing as my husband is an essential worker, he's had to go out to work every day during this whole mess, so we have had some exposure with the outside world, but my son, they have not. They've both been working from home and have really not even left their houses much at all. They are getting their limited amount of groceries delivered if they need to, because at the beginning of this whole thing, let's do this bow, this color. At the beginning of this thing, they signed up with HelloFresh, and they do either 3 or 4 meals with that. There's just the 2 of them, so they do end up with some leftovers to use along with whatever groceries they have in the house to make some leftover meals. And they also use the corner store more often than they did previously to pick up some groceries at. So yeah, not a lot of dealing with the outside world for them. So last night, Christmas Day Eve at midnight, my entire province of Ontario went into lockdown. The northern part of the province, that's when you get yourselves up into the highly forested and up into the tundra, Arctic parts of the province, is only going to be locked down for a week. The rest of us are in for 28 days. I'll believe that when I see it, though, because last time they kept extending it, and our numbers are like 3 or 4 times higher than what they were the first time, so to only be in lockdown for a month seems rather useless. Because first of all, oh, never mind, I'm not going to talk about my opinions on this. Let's talk more about Christmas. So enough of that nonsense. I got lots of purples here. Purple and yellow. I got this goldish color, except I think it's more, it's a bronze maybe. Let's do this bow color and see what it turns out like. So we had a very quiet Christmas. We had decided previously not to do presents this year. So we spent time together instead. But honestly, nobody was really in the fa-la-la mood. We just wanted to enjoy being together. So we got some sweets in. Went to the bakery, local bakery. They're actually just a block away from us. And no, they're 2 blocks away from us. Okay, so we're going to want, I guess maybe I better use this color for the wooden doll. No, but he could be painted, couldn't he? So let's paint him with this other yellow and see what color it is, because that one's rather orangey. Oh, this is much more normal yellow. So we got in some sweets, and we watched a movie. Now, we're not big movie watchers, so the movie we watched was from 2014. But we all like Adam Sandler, so we chose to watch the one called Blended. And it was alright. It was a good chuckle. It wasn't hilarious or anything, but everybody enjoyed it. There's definitely better Adam Sandler movies out there, but nobody complained. We enjoyed it. It was fun. Okay, so I'm going to use this light yellow here to do that ribbon. No, let's do the stocking first and decide if we need a dark or a light color. Okay, so I don't have, oh yeah, I do have a blue. So let's go around the cuff with blue. So that can be a fluffy cuff. So that's what we did Christmas Eve. And Christmas Day, we just really sat around the house and ate leftovers. Didn't quite finish up all the treats. Let's see. I won't go out of screen for you, so I won't turn it too much. Didn't quite eat up all the treats. But we had ham. We had ham and vegetables and mashed potatoes for our meal. Now I haven't used any of this greeny blue. I've been shying away from it, I guess. Yeah, I guess it is. It's more green than blue, for sure. So, yeah, we had some ham sandwiches for lunch. There wasn't any leftover potatoes or vegetables. I think I'm going to put the purple stripe down here running. I hope you guys can see. Problem is when I turn my page you can't see quite as well because my hand overshadows it, but after this year and 3/4, when did I even start color tubing? I guess it was in March. It'll be 2 years. I should try and remember to do a colorversity. That sounds, not colorversity, colorversary. Colorversary. A colorversity sounds like somewhere where you go to school to learn how to paint or something. Oh, I tell you though, I am so over Christmas. One nice thing about yesterday was probably the best part of the whole holiday was that our son called Christmas day, just after supper, basically, probably around 6. And then we were on the phone with him for ages because he talked to everybody personally. We didn't have it on speakerphone or anything. He talked to everybody personally, and he talked to each one of us for a long time. He started off, Mr. Niagara answered the phone, so he talked to his dad for a good amount of time. Oh, let's do the heel in purple too. He talked to Mr. Niagara for his dad for a long time. He's actually his stepfather, but and you know, he didn't call him Dad when he was a kid because, oh, there were issues with his father, and we won't get into that, but yeah, I don't know what was said, but he didn't call Mr. Niagara Dad until he was over 18. And then one day he just suddenly started calling him Dad, and he said, well, Dad's been my dad for almost my whole entire life, so not that other guy, so I'm going to call him my dad. And so that was really nice, and yeah, so that was kind of funny because we watched the movie Blended. So yes, our family became 100% blended after he became an adult, technically. Oh, he was, because he moved out when he was 18. But I guess that got him to grow up a bit. And you know, I haven't used this pink anywhere, so let's put the purple hills on here and do a pink toe. I used to knit socks. I think I told you guys I used to knit mittens, but I used to knit socks too. I just loved knitting socks. They were so fun. I just love knitting on 4 needles. But it got to the point where I just wanted to knit one. I didn't want to knit them to wear them. I wanted to knit them so that they were art. And I was stringing them up on a piece of, not rope, but what do you call that stuff? Twine. I had a piece of twine, and then I used some wooden clothes pegs, and I was hanging them up on the wall. Yeah, people stared. But it was a conversation starter. I mean, there's only so many pairs of socks a person can wear. And the funny thing is that I did wear socks when we lived in Alberta. I guess maybe because it was so cold. But I don't wear socks here. And I never used to wear socks before we moved from here. So 15 years in between being here and coming back here to this province, I wore socks. Oh, and another good thing that happened, well, it depends on who you are. Good thing that happened this Christmas was that on Christmas Eve it snowed. And it snowed like a dragon, I guess. Like an ice dragon. We got, I think they said 20 centimeters of snow. Is that a lot? But anyways, it was a great big, huge, gigantic dump. And from yesterday and throughout today, they've got all the snow off of the roads. So the snow's just melting when it hits because it's snowing right now. We're expected to have flurries today. At least that's what the weather on my phone said. Just looked at it before I started to color here. So it was, and you know, this happens quite often here. We have no snow, which we didn't. I mean, it snowed a few times, but it's never stayed. So the day before Christmas, we had no snow, and then it snowed Christmas Eve. There, it's a bit yellow. Not my best picture on the page, but we've got our little mishap with got the white gel pens covering up there. So we're done. This has been fun. Hopefully I have this up for you on Monday because it's more than halfway through Saturday. Usually I use Saturdays to get this all together and then do all the uploading on Sunday, hoping everything goes well for it to be scheduled on Monday for you guys. So I'm gonna get to work on that as I feel like it, because I am very lazy today. And yeah, I'm not going to say anymore, so it leaves me with things to say for the upcoming week. So next week, Monday, I'll be back to coloring, and I think I'm done with my Christmas coloring. I have some winter books which I didn't color all this month because my winter coloring is going to be from now until spring arrives. So spring is officially March 20th or 21st. So next few months is going to be, the seasonal stuff I color will be winter, and I'll be just coloring normal pictures too. So no more big fold down color theme like this. But anyways, look forward. You'll be watching this on Monday, which is, what is the date on Monday? I need to look so I can tell you. When you watch this. Oh, is that Christmas? Is that New Year's Eve? Come on, open up. The internet may be faster, but it didn't make my computer any faster. Okay, what's going on here? Oh yeah, I can't wait. If it doesn't come up. It's not coming up. I don't know. Something wrong with it. Okay, so anyways, coming up, you can expect to find a couple of announcements of color-alongs. Here we go. So next Monday, this is going to come out on the 28th. So I'll tell you now, because in the next 3 days, you will have a couple of announcements telling you about 2 color-alongs that I have going. One is for the month of January, and one is for the entire year, which I've spoken of before, so that's no secret. It's the Inky and the Ivy. Ivy and the Inky Butterfly is going to be a color-along in my Facebook group, and since I'm on YouTube and on Instagram, it's going over to both of those platforms as well, and I'll tell you more. I think those are the only announcements I have, but we'll see. I've got lots of things planned for the new year, which you're going to celebrate before you see me again, so Happy New Year, and all the best for 2021. Most of us can say at least it won't be any worse, so there is that. Things can only go up from here. So guys, until I talk to you with a couple of announcements, I will see you in the new year. So, bye-bye. Ta-ra!